they just can't pull all over the lights, you know, and they feel that they're going to come, you know. I just talked about export, tax and customs laws, Robin Hunt. And they say that they're only making themselves foolish, you know. You understand? They're only making themselves foolish. And I know that this would not be the instructions of Mr. Stacia because he's very familiar with all these things. So don't make it look like it was such a criminal thing, you know. I don't want to go into the reasons for you guys being here. None of those vehicles were passed through all the system. This man didn't thief the vehicle after a while. We went through all the records of the system. You are the ones who's supposed to take us to court. GRA is supposed to take him to court for these vehicles. You know, the lawyer wrote you all and gave all the reasons. You did not even respond to those reasons, but you sent a next letter and say that you must bring in the vehicles in 7 days. What kind of nonsense is this? You know? Is this how you violating the legal system in this country? No, man, we have to do better than that, right? Sorry I have to talk to you guys on this one. The law is the law.
What next, Mr. Mohamed?
No comment.
There's never has a comment though. That's it. You just said it was stay silent. What a job. Yeah, hiring? I make a comment today though.
And right now I'm very scared for my security, my family, myself, my supporters. We're very scared with what is going on present. You understand? They disarm us, you know, they leave us stranded right now in terms of security.
Allah is the
You understand? So,
Allah is the protector, you know. I mean, I don't walk with guns and so on, you know. You understand? I told them that you can take my personal guns too. And these same personal guns, defending them in 1992, because I have guns since Apnu time. I get guns since under Mr. Hoyt time. And these personal guns, defending them in 1992. I heard the Vice President said, you know, that talk about all these filthy things, you know. I mean, in 1992, I never know Mr. Jack Davey, you know. I never knew him around, right? And in 1992, Freedom House had 4 guns when you had these problems, right? 2 was my own, 1 was Dr. Hanumanu, and 1 was Glenn Lalo. So I don't know, you know, where all this nonsense coming from, you know. But Almighty Allah will reveal everything in time, yeah? Don't worry. You can't oppress people forever, you understand?
this is personal.
Right, correct is right, Uncle Shell.
It's
You
personal.
can't talk about democracy and then you're violating people in this way. There's absolutely no democracy in this country. And it is very sad and very unfortunate that a day like today, we have to go through these sorts of things where our government is there who claim to have fought for democracy and here fighting private citizens in this country. How they could write? You got police officers who come in and say, man, they get sent for do X, Y, and Z, but they don't want to it. Imagine that, eh? We're living in a place where the lawmen of this country can't even do what they're supposed to do because they all get instructions on some big buyer sitting in the office that he ego hurt today because of whatever was said, and you got people up and down wasting time. Go and look for the cocaine that's missing. You understand me? We got things. I want to know if Houdini was working at that station, the cocaine disappear. Do you understand me? Every time something going, the police this disappear, that disappear. We got things in this country. We got Venezuelans coming over here by the droves. And those people are threatening us from over there. And as a country, we putting things in place to deal with these sorts of things. We fighting down Mohamed. Listen, Uncle Shell, I'm going to need to have a talk with you, your son, because I want to figure out how y'all get them cars off for this wharf without paying, because I want to bring in a vehicle. You understand me? Because and there's nobody in this place who could bring a vehicle into this country and get it off of that wharf without paying the full duties on them vehicles. It is ridiculous. And let us say by some whimsical thing it happens, 4 years later is when y'all discuss, look, y'all need to go and investigate GRA. I never lie. Who else bringing in things that they didn't pay the taxes? What is going on in this place?
Somebody
Gotta be the fancy more vehicle more than
Then you gonna tell a man to come publicly, Azadin by his own admission said today, you gonna tell people, you hear what happened, you go publicly and say that you don't have political intentions, and we gonna ease off for you. What's that? You're a bully? You want to bully people in this country? Barrack Jagdi or Irfan and on them man own this place? The people got the power. You are people vote for you to be there, or however you end up in there. However you end up in there. You understand me? But at the end of the day, you have to respect the people, and you have to respect the voice of the people. You know, people complain about police officers being disrespected and how people treating police on the road. The government disrespecting the police. You gonna send these people here to be a place to violate them and for no good reason? And then you got your minions them on Facebook talking foolishness. You know if Azadin was in power and had done this to the government, the very same people would have cried victimization and wrongdoing. We gotta do better. You could never get the best interest of this country at heart in doing these things to people, man.
Yeah, let the law deal with these issues then, you know. You just can't send people because you just wake up and you feel that this man is a threat to you and you being in power, you know. Look, the other day, you know, I was waiting until after Ramadan to respond to a lot of things. The vice president talked about people lost the visa because of us, and he can't produce one person. He spoke about this religious man, you know, this so-called religious man that lost his visa. The religious man lost his visas because of his perverted mentality. And the whole country know him as a pervert, you understand?
Facts.
This whole country know him as a pervert. He sat at Kennedy Airport with his wife. My nephew was sitting right next to him, right? You watch up and you see a room marked pump room, so he find it funny. So he took a picture of the room. Same time, 3 FBI agent was passing in front of the room, captured him in them pictures, sent it to Guyana to one his little boy that he joke around with. The boy forward back the picture to my nephew, not even knowing that my nephew was sitting at Kennedy Airport. You understand? The feds come up. Who is X, Y, and Z? He say, I am, sir. Pull you in a corner. Ask you a couple of questions. Ask for his phone. From the moment they go in the phone, they saw the picture. Right? They saw the picture. So what is this? How come you take out agents? What is this really? He says, sir, it's not me. It's the man who was sitting next to me. He's an imam in Guyana. And he has a mosque, you know. He said, come, let's go. By then, he was already in the plane. Bring him out. And that's how he lost his visa. But Jack Davis said, Mohammed's back, he lost his visa. Right? The other issue he talked about is some entertainer. Now, Azrael helped this entertainer. Anybody, hundreds of thousands of people go into secondary every day in this world, in the U.S. Pull him into secondary, look at his phone, ask him if he know him. He said, yes, I know Azrael, but the man is a resident of the country, you know what I mean? They ask you a couple of questions and he gone. He speak about a purchaser. Now this purchase for everybody, you know, all the big people around, you know, that's his job, right? This purchaser is an American citizen, right? My nephew also is an American citizen, right? The purchase for everybody. They did question the purchase about all these people and so on. But he stopped short to say how the minister's son lost his visa, because in the purchase of phone, there were lots of information as it relates to monetary transaction.
Hundreds of thousands of US
And he says, yes, you know, you understand. The vice president stopped short to talk about these 4 persons that closely connected with them, 2 Chinese citizens and two contractors who lost their visa. They don't have nothing to do with the Mohammeds. They have absolutely nothing to do with them. I don't know. I know them by seeing them around, right? You know, one of them used to do a little business with me, and that's about it. You know, so they're peddling a lot of lies, trying to make it look like if you is this bad man. Listen, if I was a bad man, all these people would not have been here. We didn't invite them to be here, but they heard that something going on. One person heard that something going on, and so people came here, stand in solidarity with us. You know. You understand? You know, this is what's going on, you know. Bring the people. I'm standing here with all you guys. I'm sure that some of you have visas. So because I'm standing here with you, take a picture, the media carried, you're gonna lose your visa. Bullshit, man. You know.
I have a visa.
Gonna be gone tomorrow.